Well, I would argue that it's not in Canada's interest to be in NATO. Mm-hmm. And I'll just give you some examples. So, for example, in Canada, we have a very serious housing crisis. In Canada, we have a deteriorating medical system. Mm-hmm. More and more privatization is coming in. In Canada, our educational system is under severe threat of privatization, and the quality of the education system is going down. We have an environmental crisis in Canada. We have situations with our First Nations which are intolerable, like some First Nations don't even have clean drinking water. So if you realize that because Canada is tied to NATO, the amount of money that should be spent on people and people's needs is sucked out of that sector and forced into the military-industrial complex. About 10 years ago, actually less than that, probably 7 years ago, the Canadian war budget, and I don't use the term defense budget because it's not a defense budget, it's a war budget. The Canadian war budget was $20 billion a year. This year, it was $36.7 billion. And the Canadian war minister, I don't use the term defense minister, the Canadian Minister of War, Bill Blair, said at the last NATO convention, if you want to call it, the last NATO summit in July, said that a 70% increase in military spending for Canada was not enough. So if you can imagine somebody who's saying that we have to spend more and more and more money on weapons just because we're tied to NATO and we're tied to foreign policy made in Washington, you can see that this is against the interest of the people of Canada.